Giggly Weedo here. Thanks for stopping by and gaming with me today. Today we are building in The Sims 4. We are in the beautiful Sulani. For today's build, I used build and buy objects from all different packs, but in the future, if you would like to see just base game or base game with a particular combination of packs, just let me know in the comments. So recently I was looking through old photographs and I realized how fascinated I was with the Little Mermaid cartoon as a kid. So I really wanted to use that as inspiration for a build. Before I start any build, I really like to have a storyline in mind. Who is the sim that I'm building for? What is their story? So in the Little Mermaid's case, I thought, we have an idea of who Ariel is when she is a mermaid under the sea. And then we are able to see her as a bride marrying Prince Eric and living in a castle on land. But I really wanted to create a story that explores what happens in between those two events. I love to imagine a modernized Little Mermaid story in which she's engaged to Prince Eric, but before getting married, she takes some time to find her footing on land, pun intended, and she learns about life on the shore on her own. So for that reason, I decided to put her on the lagoon look lot right in the center of town, so she would be close to all of the action and the people. Originally, I had actually thought about putting her in San Myshuno, imagining that she was just really craving something so different from the ocean. But ultimately, I really feel like the character of Ariel likes to have a foot or fin in both worlds. So I feel that Sulani was the best spot. I would love to hear what you think. Sound off in the comments below. Do you like the storyline? What might you do differently? As for the build itself, I started off with the idea of a tiny house, but quickly abandoned ship when I just realized it was not working for what I had envisioned. But for the exterior of the build, I took a lot of inspiration from a Pinterest post, which I will link down in the description for you to check out. I really wanted this build to be very simple, so it is definitely not elaborate. For a color scheme, I went with colors that really reflect Ariel's character, so I tried to embed a lot of purple, turquoise, red, and beige. As you can see in the exterior of the build, I used the turquoise or aqua and beige paints. I actually struggled finding windows I really liked. I ultimately chose a base game window because I really wanted windows with shutters. I so badly wish that shutters could be placed as separate objects, maybe sold as a separate item under the wall decor category, because then shutters could be added to any window in the game, and it really would add so many more options when building. So Sim Gurus, if by chance you are out there listening, maybe we can add it with a game update, please. So while building the exterior, I realized I needed more purple, so I decided to add in purples through the flowers and the plants. I was also able to get some great debug and decorative items that brought in the purple. So now we are onto the interior. I really wanted to use that purplish hardwood floor from Jungle Adventure because it has such a great mermaid feel, but I felt like it was just really giving the build a graying look, so I decided to change it. I used the flooring from Eco Lifestyle, which is a go-to favorite of mine. I also went with the mint colored cabinets, and oh my goodness, those tiles from the Parenthood pack with the purple and aqua fit so perfectly with the character of Ariel. I also was torn between going with a neat house and a cluttered house. Ariel is so obsessed with trinkets that originally I had planned to really clutter up the home. But in the end, I decided to have a happy medium. I add in a bit of clutter, but I really wanted to keep the build clean, feminine, and light. Also, I spent hours picking out items, so for everyone's sake, I try to cut out as much of that as possible so I can just show you the finished product. One of my favorite items in the kitchen, which you'll see in just a moment, is the postcard board. I love the idea that Ariel has pen pals. Now, how she learned to write, don't ask me, but she did. I like that she is learning as much as she can about the human world and really keeping her sense of adventure alive. I imagine that she hangs on to these postcards so she can keep track of all the places she wants to visit. The postcards I picked reminded reminded me of Strangerville, Windenburg, and Brindleton Bay. I thought it offered a nice variety of places. So moving on to the living room, I struggled to pick a couch. We all know The Sims 4 needs more couches. I am stoked for The Sims 5, having so many patterns and color options. It is really going to be a game changer for living room designs. I plan to do a video on my hopes for The Sims 5, so be on the lookout for that. What do you want to see the most in The Sims 5? I would love to include your ideas in the upcoming video as well. Anyways, back to the build. A big change I made midway through the build was actually changing the wall color from white to a light purple, and I'm so glad that I did it. Again, I was really missing purples, so I felt like it ended up being a nice touch to tie it all together. I felt like the purple was muted enough that it didn't overwhelm the build or feel too childish. As for the upstairs, I kept the bedroom and the bathroom fairly simple. I did add a microphone in Ariel's bedroom because we all know she has a beautiful voice and she loves to sing. I'm also glad that I did add a balcony to the outside in the bedroom because I imagined she would be able to wave to all her mermaid family and friends and get visits from Scuttle. Also, there was a rug, I think it was from the knitting pack, that I really wanted to use. It had that purple and aqua, but it just felt too loud for this build, so in the end I wasn't able to use it. The bathroom is simple. I did go for the color, the purple color with the tile accent on the wall, but since it was so minimal, I felt like it worked. I had a lot of fun adding in the bathroom clutter, especially with the makeup and the towels and the bathrobe. For Ariel, I imagined that it would be such a new experience to have those items that she would be so excited to learn how to use all of it. I will say the bathroom shape is a bit odd, but I do think it's nice to have the toilet hidden away a little bit. Also, on a complete side note, if you ever notice a bunch of random objects placed on or around the lot, it's because when I go through the debug menu and I find great items, I just lay them out everywhere, so I remember to eventually place them. I should also mention that I am a PlayStation girl, so when The Sims 4 announced many years ago it would be available on PS4, I was thrilled. So all of my builds, all of my gameplay are done on console. On one hand, I do miss out on the amazing mods that our Sim community puts out, but I really love PlayStation, so it's great to be able to game that way. I grew up playing the Sims franchise on the computer, so being able to transition to console with the Sims 4 is awesome. So this wraps up the build. I hope you enjoy the closing shots of Ariel enjoying her new home. Thanks for gaming with me today. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I can't wait to see you next time.